Hey there. I'm trying something new here. I'm going to talk about what I've done in Blender in the last week and what I intend to do in the next week. So I'm just going to run this line of PowerShell, which is going to list my Blender files folder, any blend files that are in there, recursing because I have some projects buried in there, and we're going to sort it by last write time, which is not the best way to do it, but it'll make things pretty clear about what I have done. So run this, and the last thing I have open is this helix balls file, which is right here, and I'm using geometry nodes, a setup that I guess it's the combination of a few tutorials that I've done, but I did come up with this on my own through the shared knowledge of the open source community. All I'm doing is taking a spiral to drive everything and converting it into a mesh and using circles to be placed and instanced around it, instances on the points. So I take every point on this circle and I place a mesh on it, and that mesh is an instance of this circle, of this icosphere. So if I increase the radius of this mesh, it'll get bigger here. And if I increase the radius of this, if I increase the radius of the radius over here, we get a bigger one. So I have a goal I'm trying to do. I want to sort of taper this from one side to the other. And so down here, let's say at the beginning of the length of this curve, I'd like to have it be 0.1, almost basically just right around there, maybe 0.1815 or something. Yeah, so I have this like nice ring going around something, and then as we get to the end, it would be more of point like I don't know 0.9 or something. So it would look, I think that would look pretty cool. That was sort of what I had in mind when I started, and I got stuck. Well, I am not necessarily stuck. I have a bit of research to do. I think I kind of know what I need to do here to drive this. Also, this part of the video I am actually asking for a bit of feedback. The rest of the ones I'll just talk about what I'm doing. Now, what I know that I need to do is resample. I need to sample the length of this curve and use it to drive the distance of this radius. So as further we get along the length of this curve, we increase the radius. I'm just stuck. I was thinking maybe I could resample the curve, get length, and then kind of add them or multiply them by an amount of 0 to 1. I think that might work. I mean, it'll probably end up using a ramp shader, a color ramp or something like that would probably make sense. Our next, the next one here is a bit of a chaotic scene at this moment. But I have I have a render of this from last week. There's a bit of a story attached to this that I'd like to play through. Somebody wants to, and now we will all become, we will all become cubes. And this he's sort of an evil guy. He's like, we will all become cubes. And this is sort of what I have for the render right now. I think it's messy. I think it needs a bit more. Interest, a little less chaos. There's a lot happening in it, but it almost plays back in real time, which is insane, thinking about this character being fairly high poly and all of this stuff that's going on. If I put this to this, we can see it's pretty fun. I want to add a tack a little bit more at the beginning, have him say something, and then have the cube swarm fly out of his head. And I also want to give him a cape. I think it would look kind of fun, and maybe an animation layer on top of his legs. They look really weirdly bent, so I want to I could maybe just do my own animation of his legs floating there, almost like a Doctor Strange thing. So that's where I want to take this shot. But I really like sort of the simple composition that I'm going for. I really just want to have a couple elements in here, a circle going this way and a circle behind going that way. I also want to maybe drop some I could have some smoke or something coming off these, off of each of these instances. It'd be crazy. It'd be, I don't know how much processing power I can push this thing. This project, I think, is subject to scope creep for me. I just keep adding things because I haven't really defined what the actual shot is that I want. And this is a problem I've fallen into many, many times where I just I start without a shot, and then I just try to build it in the scene, and it's a lot easier if you have the components already ahead of time laid out, even in a sketch. So I'll move on from this. I am really happy with this work. I don't know if I did anything. Okay, and we'll go to donut. And we will open up the donut 11. So that was 12:56 a couple days ago, and this is where I'm at with it currently. I think I need to adjust sort of where my sprinkles are sitting. So yeah, there is an issue with that one that I'm just starting to go through. I would like to go through this again, the whole process of it, really. It didn't take as much time as I actually thought it would. It really does look pretty good, other than some weirdness. But I mean, if I had made this 10 years ago, I would have been pretty happy with the results. So Blender is great, and this tutorial from Blender Guru is just so awesome, helpful. I'll close that one. I don't want to miss it, hopefully. Then after that, I had also been working on this car. So yeah, so this would be the actual car that I have been doing. As you can see, I was starting to shade it, and I kind of just got, I think I just got a little annoyed by the, it just doesn't automatically look super real. The next thing I want to do with it, though, is I want to use OCD, which allows you to add detail to make things a bit more realistic than chips. See on this reference here, I kind of want to add a bit of wear and stuff onto it, and then obviously I want to make these wheels actually modeled. Tinkler. This one is close to my heart. It's one of the first times I really felt something. I really did something with motion capture that felt like it was awesome. And there are some issues in it, like you can see his hands slipping all over, which could be solved. I could do some animation layers and rigging, and I could work with it. I could resample the animation, but what I kind of want to do, when I was sort of visualizing with these blocks, without using the remesh filter. In fact, what I want to do is make this guy rocks, like make each part of his body a rock, and then have it sort of disintegrate as he comes through, and these rocks are kicking off of his body, like whoosh, 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 and then by the end he's maybe just like a shell or something, or there's like very little left of each body part or something. And I'd have to use particles and C-shatter and geonodes. A bit more of a complicated idea. But I think it would look really fun. Again, it would also tell a bit of a visual story. So this stick guy is just the standard. You use the skin modifier in here to you use skin across one of your lines, and then you actually can get an armature that's actually rigged, but I have not actually got that one going yet. So what I want to do is take this guy through through the rigging process, use that for luring that, maybe do like a punch or something like that. Also maybe put some of my mocap on it. I have this one, which is on my YouTube channel already, but you can see again, this is also the animation is super weird. I got very obsessed with. Yes, I gotta go. Yeah, let's go.